Let's raise the big question then. Has Viswaroopam now become an all-out political battle? That's the big question that we are asking tonight. Joining me now, Dr. Subramaniam Swamy, National President of the Janata Party, Kamal Farooqi, General Secretary of the Samajwadi Party, and also joining me are other special guest, Dr. M.H.Jawahirullah. He's the MLA of the MKK, the party which clearly is among those which is taking a strong stand against the film in Tamil Nadu. Appreciate your joining us. Dr. Subramaniam Swamy, Jayalalitha has made the point that she received intelligence reports of the possibility of violence. It would have been difficult to provide security to 524 theatres. Does this law and order argument to you sound as a genuine one or merely an excuse?
Oh, of course it's an excuse. I have dealt with law and order problem when Chandrasekhar was Prime Minister and had to dismiss the DMK government. Law and order is meant for as a part of governance. You can't deprive somebody's fundamental right, including my right to watch the film, especially after it's been cleared by the censor board, yes, just because some groups want to commit violence, and one of the groups which is wanting to commit violence is an ally of the ADMK. So she is doubly responsible as an act of governance to see that no violence takes place.
So you don't accept her argument that for preventive action it was necessary, given those intelligence reports, that the film not be screened. You believe that's a bogus argument?
For preventive action, she should catch those people and put them under jail under the National Security Act or Gundas Act or some other such act.
You know, Dr. Jawahirullah, you are the MLA of the MKK. You are among those, your group is among those who is saying the agitation is peaceful, but only yesterday we had 2 petrol bombs being hurled outside a theatre. It appears you are using threats, intimidation, and the position that you all wield in the Tamil Nadu government to get your views heard. That you are actually forcing the government of Tamil Nadu, some would say, to ban the film.
I am a MLA belonging to the Manidaneya Makkal Katchi.
Yes.
And we are not alone. We are 24 organizations, and our Honorable Chief Minister very rightly pointed out today morning that all the 24 organizations which are opposing the screening of this film are mass-based organizations and not one-man army like our Dr. Subramaniam Swamy's. Let me make it clear that the law and order situation in Tamil Nadu is a state subject. The state has a lot of machinery to monitor the situation, and the decision to take regarding imposing 144 is the discretion of the state government. A film called Dam 999 yes, was produced by some Kerala producers regarding the Mullai Periyar Dam, and that particular film was banned in Tamil Nadu. Ban means it was imposing 144 section IPC. They banned the screening of the film throughout Tamil Nadu, and I want to repeat yes, that the Supreme Court upheld the ban. Now anybody can say.
So you are effectively saying that a group of small organizations in Tamil Nadu can protest against a film and force the state government to ban it. I mean, it appears that the state is abdicating its responsibility. The state's government is to provide protection to citizens, not listen necessarily to groups like yours.
See, actually, it's not small groups. I'm again correcting you.
Whatever it is, sir,
Honorable
the bottom line,
let me
how
finish.
Can you decide?
No, we are not deciding. See, first of all, we have not protested.
Yes.
First of all, I want to make it very clear that whatever incidents which happened yesterday is not the handiwork of any of our organizations.
Right.
See, we are all committed secular organizations in the political arena as well as in the social arena. See, in Tamil Nadu, in the post-Babri Masjid demolition, yes, a section of the Tamil filmdom, they have been continuously producing film depicting Muslims as terrorists. And that has reached a pinnacle in this film produced and directed and acted by Mr. Kamala Hassan, Viswaroopam. Now, our question
Jayalalitha,
is,
sir,
Jayalalitha has the freedom. Let me finish, Rajdeep.
Yes.
let me finish, Rajdeep.
Yes.
Just a minute, Rajdeep. See, we are not against Kamala Hassan taking a film on Taliban or Al-Qaeda, whatever it is.
Yes.
You have to understand our sentiments. He is associating the Holy Quran with terrorist act. He is associating the namaz with terrorist act. He is associating the dua, that is the supplication, with terrorist act. See, freedom of speech means it's not an unfettered right.
Sir,
the stick which I am revolving should
Yes.
stop at my nose.
Okay.
So when we found something offensive, we went to the state government. We didn't come to the streets. We went to the state government and we expressed all our apprehensions, all our feelings. The state government, on the basis of whatever feelings we expressed, they have imposed a ban. We have never come to the streets. We have never
Dr.
forced the ban.
Zawahirullah,
State government
Jayalalitha in a statement today said there are intelligence reports that groups will create could incite violence. Are you denying that your group is not one of those groups? Are you saying that your group has not tried to incite violence over this film?
No, not at all, not at all, and we have no history of such a type of inciting of violence.
Sir, we know what happened. Do you remember what happened in the US consulate? You remember what happened in the US consulate there in September when a similar film screening resulted in violence? Are you saying that all these protests are there which are peaceful? You are creating the apprehension and threat of violence so that the film is not screened. That's the bottom line.
No, that is not the bottom line at all. That is another incident.
Okay.
That is another incident. Don't mix up. Don't mix that incident with us. That is a totally different incident. See, in a democratic country, I don't know how you are putting that. We have a group of people, not one organization, 24 organizations, including political parties which have elected representatives in the state assembly. When we are feeling hurt, who is going to protect us? It is the state government.
Okay, so the state is supposed to...
When we appeal to the state government, it has taken the decision. That doesn't mean we are going to indulge in violence or we are going to do that. No, not at all.
I get your point. You're saying the state government must look at your sentiments. What about the sentiments of the silent majority is the other big question. But Dr. Kamal Farooqi of the Samajwadi Party, what is more worrying is the way in which your party today has jumped in. Your leader, Mr. Kushwaha, wants the film banned in Uttar Pradesh. He hasn't even seen the film, I presume, and yet he wants it banned. I mean, this is now vote bank politics of the worst kind. The Samajwadi Party has a large Muslim vote, so you decide that the film should be banned.
No, in fact, Rajdeep, let me clarify two things.
Yes.
Up to now, this is an individual statement of Mr. Kushwaha.
Yes.
Our party has not yet taken any decision. Personally speaking, whatever has happened yesterday, Mr. Kamal Hassan has very rightly said that in consultation with the people, he has already agreed to make certain addition and certain editing of the whole thing. So after that, perhaps, the people who are being affected over there, it seems that they have agreed to it, and if that's the situation, it will be absolutely different situation in other parts of the country.
My worry. But how can the Samajwadi Party or indeed any party of the country decide that a film should be shown or not? Once the censor board has cleared it, all of you are playing vote bank politics.
May I point out one fact?
Yes. Yes, Dr. Swami.
See, first of all, this question of Muslim sentiment being hurt, in Kerala, there is Muslim League is in part of the government.
Yes.
They have refused to ban it. They are showing it in Kerala.
Yes.
They are in fact saying, please don't communalize this film. But it's got to do with terrorism.
In Karnataka, but in Karnataka,
who cares about Karnataka? First you tell me.
I want to make let me finish, Mr. Swami, Dr. Swami.
You first answer, why is that Kerala government, the Muslim League says, this is not against Muslims.
No, that is a good point.
I am coming to that answer.
Yes.
No. The Kerala government has not officially announced any such, made any such statement. Even in Kerala, in the Muslim populated places,
Muslim
this
League
film
has
is
made
not
an official
shown.
statement.
In Karnataka, let me finish, Mr. Swami. Have patience. In Karnataka, this film is run with scrolling at the beginning of the film saying that all Muslims are not terrorists all the characters depicted in these films are imaginary.
You're satisfied
so
with that?
With that byline only, that film is going on in Hyderabad, in major,
right,
in
you want
many
that
of the
byline
Muslim
in Tamil
populated
Nadu?
cities. No, that is a different question. Let me
No,
come
it's
to a question very
Dr.
good
Zahirullah,
question.
Dr. Zahirullah, hold on. Dr. Zahirullah,
Raj,
1 minute, Dr. Zahirullah. You cannot monopolize the conversation. I'm going to ask you a simple, straight question. I want a straight answer from you. Why is it that the film can be shown freely in Kerala, but Tamil Nadu bans it? Why is it that the Muslim League in Kerala has no problems with it, but you have a problem with it in Tamil Nadu? What is going on? How can one state government takes one view, another state government takes another view, one Muslim party takes one view, another Muslim party takes another view? How long can we continue like this, Mr. Zahirullah, Dr. Zahirullah? Quick answer. Why is it that the Muslim League in Kerala has agreed to the film?
Say officially, neither the Muslim League nor the Congress in Kerala has come out with any statement in support of the film. Let me finish.
Yes.
As far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, we saw the trailer of this film, and this is not the first film Mr. Kamal Haasan is producing against Muslims. In his previous film, that is Vannai Pol Oruvan, and before that another film, Hey Ram, he has portrayed Muslims as terrorists. So when we saw the trailer of this film, Viswaroopam, we anticipated that this film also could be an anti-Muslim propaganda film. And that is the reason why we had discussions with Kamala Hassan. We had two rounds of discussions
I don't want to, sir, you are not
Hassan.
answered. Dr. Zahirullah, you are not answering my question. Why should Kerala decide to go ahead with the film, but Tamil Nadu has a problem? Siddharth Vardarajan, I'll come back to you, Doctor.
India is a federation of...
each state will have its own choice. Okay, Siddharth Vardarajan, you know, you've heard what Jayalalitha has said today. She said it is the duty of the state to take preventive action, hence the film was banned. Shouldn't it be the other way around, screen the film and take preventive action to ensure no group resorts to violence? Isn't the basic premise of the state that it is the protector of the law and order, and that seems to be reversed here? What is exceptional about the situation in Tamil Nadu? You're the editor of The Hindu. What is happening in Tamil Nadu that is not happening in Kerala?
I'm afraid it's an admission of failure by the state government. If in the face of purported intelligence reports of violence, a film is going to be banned because the government is saying we cannot provide security. I cannot think of a more abject admission of failure than this kind of statement, especially when you have judgment after judgment of the Supreme Court in the context of film bans and in the context of films that have been upheld, that have been passed by the CBFC, that mere apprehension of violence cannot be grounds to ban a film. It is the constitutional duty of a government to ensure law and order. And if somebody is threatening to violate the law, or somebody is threatening violence, or you have credible intelligence reports, well, you have laws, you have policies to deal with that.
Right.
And I fail to see why the Tamil Nadu government or any other state government would not want to do that instead of kowtowing to, or submitting to people who are raising
Why do
all
you
kinds
think
of
it's
irrational
doing?
protests.
Why do you think they're doing it? Why do you think, Siddharth, they're doing it? Do you think they're doing it to put? Is there something behind the politics? Is there business interests involved? Where is the real story? As I come back to it, why is Kerala, with a strong Muslim League presence in government, going ahead with a film which Tamil Nadu is unwilling to go ahead with?
Look, somewhere along the line, the government in Tamil Nadu has decided that this is not an issue that we are going to expend law and order resources on. I don't know why they've decided that. The police in Tamil Nadu is as capable as the police in any other state.
Right.
And were they to send the clear, unambiguous signal that disruptions would not be allowed or tolerated, they wouldn't happen. But what worries me is that this whole course of encouraging Kamala Hassan to meet different groups, I mean, where does this all end? I mean, today, the Tamil Nadu groups that are protesting may be happy with 4 cuts.
Right.
What happens tomorrow if somebody in UP says, no, I want 6 cuts,
right,
or I want 8 cuts?
Right.
No, we're talking about the depth of artistic and cultural creativity in this country.
Right.
If directors and filmmakers are going to be blackmailed into negotiating with people who don't have an appreciation for cultural work and submitting to all kinds of demands, I think this is very, very dangerous territory that we've entered.
Rahul Narvekar of the Shiv Sena, it's interesting that the Shiv Sena has come out in support of Kamala Hassan. I'm presuming it is because the Muslim groups are opposed to him. Because there doesn't seem to be any principled stand that the Shiv Sena has taken, because in the past you have also targeted films, you've targeted plays, all of which you see are in some way anti the Shiv Sena's ideology. So this isn't about your protests also smack up politics. You are playing politics because Muslim groups are opposing the film.
Well, Rajdeep, I'll answer your question, but was just wondering whether you appreciate the stand of the Shiv Sena supporting this film and its screening.
I appreciate the stand if you are consistent with it. If you are consistent with it.
And
when it comes to My Name is Khan, you don't...
Now I'll come...
Yes, go ahead.
Well, just because you are speaking about My Name is Khan,
yes,
you're a seasoned journalist and I don't need to tell you this. I'm sure you've done your homework much better than anyone else out here.
Yes.
My Name is Khan wasn't opposed because there was foul screenplay or because the script was bad or the dialogues were bad.
Yes.
Or for none of these reasons. My Name is Khan, we had requested theatres not to play it until Shah Rukh Khan, who had offended the feelings of the countrymen, apologizes.
Right.
So let's not mix the two issues. That had nothing to do with the artistic talent of any individual, and that is something which we had never challenged.
You have now, stopped plays.
One thing I want to make very
let's be honest. Are you committed to artistic freedom, or are you committed to this film because Muslim groups are opposing it?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are of the opinion, yes, artistic freedom unnecessarily being stopped and being interfered with is not really good and healthy for the democracy in our country.
Okay.
Having said that, let me just clarify a couple of things. Let's not give the credit of banning or stopping the screening of this film to some fringe elements or some fringe organizations.
Right.
This is a state-sponsored ban.
Okay.
The district collector was first to ban the screening of this film, which was then confirmed and for technical reasons by the courts.
Right.
So therefore, this is an act of the state.
Okay.
And this
that's the distinction you're drawing.
Double standards prevailing in the film industry as well as the government.
Okay.
When
I get your point.
Hindutva sympathizing parties take up an issue where Hindu goddesses are depicted in a very vulgar manner, no one wants to interfere.
Sir, films like Parzania, films like I might point out to you, films like Parzania and Fana have been prevented from being screened in Gujarat, where there was a BJP government also. So let's not get into it. All political parties have used cinema and art to score political points. We are seeing that now in Tamil Nadu. Kamal Farooqi, your party today, or a leader of your party calling for a ban in Uttar Pradesh, without even watching the film, would you concede that this is vote bank politics? That at the end of the day, you are trying to appeal to the sentiments of what you believe is the sentiment of the Muslim on the street, even without seeing the film?
This appeasement word is hurting me like anything, because I have been hearing it for the last almost 60 years. You please understand, if any particular religious community, more particularly Muslims, when the Quran Majid has been used in a different manner, when the Muslims have been depicted in a different manner, don't we have a right to protest? Of course, there has to be a limit of the protest. We should not allow under no circumstances to go in Barbaric and create a law and order situation. Right. But I have got all the rights in the world to protest about it.
Sure.
So number one. Number two is, let me complete because you have not given me time. Number two is that as far as this politics is concerned, yes, I do agree that there is some amount of politics, and there is a big question mark as to why Kerala Muslims have not felt the same way as our brethren in Tamil Nadu has felt it. But at the same time, when yesterday Mr. Kamal Hassan has very rightly said that he has agreed that certain cuts and edits should be made, I personally feel the chapter should be closed.
Okay.
I am feeling very hurt. I am feeling very hurt that because of this, Muslims are being targeted like anything, as if the Muslims are absolutely irresponsible lot. We are a very responsible lot. I request all my Muslim brethren not to take the law into their hands, have the democratic way of protesting.
Dr. M.H.Jawahirullah, Dr. M.H.Jawahirullah, MLA, MMK in Tamil Nadu, are you hearing what Kamal Farooqi is saying? That the time has come not to give the entire Muslim community a bad name. Don't become a spokesperson for all the Muslims of India.
No, definitely I agree with whatever Kamal Farooqi has said.
Yes.
But you have to look into from the perspective that we have watched the film. The film was shown to us by Kamala Hassan after 2 rounds of talk. And we feel that, of course, we cannot say that that we can stop someone's freedom of expression. But what is needed is freedom of expression with an social responsibility. That is what the Supreme Court said very recently in the DAM 999 case.
Dr. Zawahirullah, sir, please, 1 minute. 1 minute. You have not answered the central question. You're saying freedom of expression versus social responsibility. The same battle exists in Kerala. The same battle exists in other states. Dr. Kamal Farooqi is saying he has no problems once the CBFC has cleared the film. Why is it the Muslims of Tamil Nadu alone have their sentiments heard? Aren't there other Muslims in this country?
No, sir. Rajdeep, I have not said that. I have not said that. I have said that after making necessary corrections, what Mr. Kamal Hassan said, I have no problem. As far as the CBC is concerned, I have got all the objections because that's not the ultimate final authority. If they have committed something wrong, I have got all the rights in the world to protest.
Yes. Let me once again ask this to Dr. Zawahirullah. Zawahirullah Sahab, why should only the Tamil Nadu Muslim sentiments determine the issue? It's a much more, you can't have one community in one state deciding what can be screened and what cannot.
This film starts with saying that this is a real story, and it says that the internationally wanted terrorist, the Taliban's leader Mullah Umar, he had a safe haven in Coimbatore and Madras, Coimbatore and Madurai. And our stand has been vindicated that the censor board has not been responsible in censoring this film, and our stand is vindicated. I am saying that because yesterday Mr. Kamala Hassan agreed that certain portion of this film will be deleted, which means that we were right in opposing this film.
Okay, so you believe that you are right in opposing the film. You have the right to protest also under the Constitution. Nobody denies that, but whether you also have the right to decide for the rest of the community is a question mark. Rahul Narvekar, the question that the Shiv Sena is having to answer, you wanted credit for the fact that you have supported Kamala Hassan. Will you in future support all cinematic freedom, or will, again, when it comes to a film which perhaps doesn't depict Mumbai or your Maharashtrian pride or Hindu pride in the way you want, or a work of art of M.F. Hussain, will you also turn around and say sentiments have been hurt? Do you agree with the broader argument that Zawahirullah and others make, that sentiments are more important than anything else, perhaps even more important than the law of the land?
No, not at all.
Well, first and foremost, let me clarify that there is no question about the fact that the current objection raised by the so-called Muslim group sympathizers or Islam sympathizers is nothing but an act of Islamic extremism which is prevalent in this country for quite some time, and that needs to be sorted as soon as possible.
And how? But is that the flip side of the coin of Hindu extremism? Is that the flip side of Hindu extremism? There's Islamic extremism and there's Hindu extremism, and both of you will prevent any works of art from being screened.
I'll tell you what, the pseudo-secular politics prevailing in this country by parties which are known to each and every one of us here.
Right.
When a Hindu outfit protests against any depiction of their goddesses or anything, any script which is detrimental or which causes a prejudice to their religious feelings, at that point of time, we have everyone jumping in and saying that no, this is infringement of artistic talent. But when the same thing happens with regards to a Muslim group, which has happened in Tamil Nadu, you don't have the central government stepping in, you don't have state governments taking action. So what would you call this? I would term this as pseudo-secularism, which is prevailing in this country and needs to be checked.
You call it pseudo-secularism that is prevailing in this country. Kamal Farooqi, I believe you want to have a quick point before I go to Siddharth Varadarajan for a conclusion. What is your objection?
Just 30 seconds I want. That what Mr. Nagar has said is absolutely incorrect and very disturbing. That is, again, he is using the Islamic terrorism. I object to Islamic terrorism or Hindu terrorism because religion has got no terrorism, number one.
He used the word extremism.
When he is talking... Extremism is a...
Mr. Farooqi, is there any logic?
Extremism?
Is there any logic behind your objection?
There is.
What do you want? What do you
No,
want
there
the
is a
director
logic.
and the producers
There
to
is
do?
a logic.
The filmmaker to do?
There is a logic. No,
Mr. Farooqi, have you watched this film?
What do you want?
Have you watched this film?
I have watched.
This film has been projected.
I have already said whatever.
This film has been projected in Afghanistan. Do you want to show them?
Please.
I mean, what are you talking?
Please let you are talking. Let me tell you one thing. Mother, you do not have even courage for a small girl to write about, give an SMS, and you are talking about this. You still are haunting that poor girl who has sent the SMS.
Mr. Farooqi, again, you're talking without knowing your facts. You're talking without knowing your facts.
No, I know the facts, Mother. It's still today.
You know what happened then?
No, I'm going to leave it there.
If you have the right to raise an objection, I certainly have the right to lodge a complaint.
Hold on.
Transpires after that
let's not get into that.
Government.
No, let's not now. We are diverting issues. No, I have to move away and switch off the mics of the two politicians, because Siddharth Vardarajan, in conclusion, is this debate now going to become about secularism or pseudo-secularism? Is it about the state playing super censor, or is it simply about the failure of governance and the rule of law in the end of the day, which is marked by the failure of leadership?
Look, first of all, I think it's astonishing for somebody from Shiv Sena to come on your channel and speak in favor of artistic freedom. This is a party that has targeted so many works of cultural art and cultural production. They objected to the film Fire because one of the protagonists was called Radha. I mean, what is he talking about, right? So, and I think the biggest enemies of Muslims and Hindus in this country are politicians who claim to speak in their name, because these are people who are playing naked politics. They are not true to the glorious traditions of these religions themselves, and raise all kinds of frivolous objections. Now, tomorrow if a movie is made, I gather one of the objections in this film is that somebody is shown praying and then going and planting a bomb. Well, tomorrow if, the Nathuram Godse believed he was a genuine Hindu, and if tomorrow you make a movie showing him praying or taking an oath on the Gita and then going and shooting Gandhiji, this only shows that Godse is a madman who doesn't understand Hinduism. It doesn't diminish the Gita or Hindu faith in any way. So I think that politicians are, ultra-sensitive, hypersensitive people. They're doing a great disservice to the communities in whose interests they claim to be speaking. And were they to focus on more constructive, productive things, this will be much better. But at the end of the day, this is a failure, as you said, of governments and governance, because upholding law and order, upholding the constitutional right of citizens to enjoy constitutionally protected freedoms and rights is the duty of a government. And just because somebody threatens tomorrow, some group of thugs may say that we don't like this particular newspaper, we don't like this particular book. So is the government then going to say, okay, fine, because I apprehend I cannot protect 2,000 distribution points, I cannot protect 500 bookstores, so I'm going to ban this book, I'm going to ban this newspaper. Where does it stop? And I think it's essential that the highest courts of the land, of this land, step in and say, look, we've already ruled on this many times, and that governments have to uphold the law and order. There's no two ways about it.
At the end of the day, there are people misusing religion. Dr. Jawahirullah, if Kamal Hassan wants to expose those who are in a sense misusing religion and in the name of Islam perhaps resorting to terrorist acts, surely he has every right to do so. In fact, you should be supporting that instead of seeing that as a targeting of the entire community. That's something maybe that you should be looking at. As you cannot decide, Dr. Jawahirullah, surely. Okay, that was the debate that we carried out a little while ago. Editor's take, where do we stand? The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha's defense of the ban on Viswaroopam on grounds of protecting law and order is only a partial understanding of what the Constitution says on public order. The Constitution does give governments the right to act to protect public order, but public order is seen as larger term denoting a widespread threat to society as a whole. Law and order, as distinct from public order, cannot be the reason or an excuse to throttle free speech and expression. There is no doubt that Article 19(2) of the Constitution provides for limiting free speech when it comes to grounds such as morality, decency and public order. But the fact that the Tamil Nadu government has banned Viswaroopam only after protests from a few groups shows that it is using these imprecise terms of Article 19(2) to impose censorship. Why should law and order be best upheld by banning films? Why is law and order not upheld by bringing strictly to book those who threaten violence over works of art? Unless every government urgently takes a statesman-like stance to uphold the Constitution and not just its vote bank, our precious democratic freedoms are in serious jeopardy. Well, let's take a break at this point. When we return,